AITA for refusing to babysit my sister's miracle baby after what she did to my dog. I'm 28F, in a bit of a dilemma right now, and I'm hoping I can get some outside perspective on whether or not I'm being unreasonable. Here's the situation. My sister 32F had a baby last year after years of struggling with infertility. We were all beyond excited for her. Her little boy was her miracle baby, and of course that made him the center of attention in the family. Honestly, I wasn't bothered by it. Who wouldn't be thrilled for her after everything she went through? But then things started to get weird. I have a golden retriever named Benny. He's 5 years old and he's the sweetest dog you'll ever meet. He's calm, gentle, and pretty much loves everyone he meets. My family adores him, and even my sister used to be a huge fan. Before she had the baby, Benny and my sister would hang out, and she'd give him belly rubs like they were best friends. He was just another member of the family. But once her son was born, everything started to change. The first incident was when I brought Benny over to visit. I'm super protective of him, as any pet parent is, and I knew that bringing him over to her house would be a little risky given how things were shifting. Benny is pretty well behaved, so I didn't expect any issues. He's quiet, laid back, and loves lounging on his mat. So I brought him over and made sure he stayed on his mat, not bothering anyone. But then the baby started crying and my sister suddenly asked me to take Benny outside. She said, "I think he's making the baby nervous." Mind you, Benny was just lying there. He wasn't barking, jumping, or doing anything that would disturb anyone. But she was adamant. It was a cold winter day, and she wanted me to take him out into the freezing cold just because the baby was upset. I was honestly stunned. I said no, and I ended up leaving early, which was probably the first sign that things were going downhill. That was strike one. After that, every time I visited her house, she would make comments about how she didn't want Benny around. One time she straight up told me that she didn't want him near her baby because he's a dog. That stung, honestly. Benny is a member of my family, and it felt like she was dismissing him as nothing more than an inconvenience. But I let it go, at least on the surface. I stopped bringing him around because I didn't want to make her uncomfortable or cause any issues. But honestly, the tension was building. I started to feel like she was distancing herself from me too, and I couldn't shake the feeling that something had changed in our relationship. Then came the moment that completely shattered my trust in her. I had to leave town for a weekend and my sister asked if she could stay at my place for a few days. Her house was getting fumigated and she didn't want to be stuck in a hotel with the baby. I agreed, thinking it would be no big deal. I love my sister and I figured it would be fine. So I left town for a few days, thinking everything would be fine when I returned. But when I came back on Sunday night, I immediately knew something was wrong. Benny, my usually happy and confident dog, was hiding under my bed. I could hear him trembling. My heart sank. I went to check on him and he was absolutely terrified. His eyes were wide and he wouldn't come out from under the bed no matter how much I called him. He was so scared that he didn't even want to move. I immediately went to my sister to find out what happened, and she casually said, "Oh, I had to lock him in the laundry room because he was staring at the baby too much and making him fussy." My stomach dropped. I asked her if she had fed him or given him water. She just shrugged and said, "No, I didn't think he needed anything. He's just a dog." That was the moment I completely lost it. I couldn't understand how someone could be so callous about an animal's well-being, especially when they knew how much Benny meant to me. Benny wasn't being aggressive or misbehaving. He was just existing, and she locked him in a room for 2 days with no food or water. He was terrified. He's a sweet dog who just wanted to be part of the family. I told her that I couldn't believe what she'd done and that she was never welcome to stay at my house again. Honestly, I was furious. I didn't just feel betrayed. I felt like she had crossed a line I couldn't come back from. She apologized, but it didn't feel genuine. She didn't seem to grasp the severity of what she had done, and that made it worse. Fast forward a month or so, and my sister is going back to work. She calls me up one day and asks if I can watch her baby for 2 days a week. She wants free childcare. At first, I thought maybe it was a joke, but when she kept insisting, I realized she was serious. I didn't hesitate for a second in saying no. I couldn't bring myself to say yes, not after what she'd done to Benny. It wasn't just about the dog anymore. It was about how she had treated something that was precious to me without any remorse or real acknowledgement of the harm she caused. She flipped out. She called me bitter and selfish, and she accused me of not understanding what it meant to love family unconditionally. She even said I was being cruel, especially when I could help. My mom got involved, too. She said I was being unfair and that I should be there for my sister, especially now that she needed help. But here's the thing. I can't just forget what she did. This isn't about being petty or holding a grudge. It's about boundaries and respect. She treated my dog horribly without any regard for his feelings or well-being, and now she wants me to just drop everything and help her with her baby like nothing ever happened. It feels manipulative, and I can't shake the feeling that she thinks I should just forgive and forget because she's family.